When I was lovingly kissing the picture of Leon, my long-distance crush, Jenna saw me. She quickly rushed over to take my phone, but I skillfully dodged, causing her to fall flat on the ground. Geez, we're twin sisters, yet you hide everything from me. Feeling sorry, I showed Jenna his picture. Fine, here he is. Ooh, he looks good. Really? He's coming home next week and we're going on our first date. Nice. I'll help you out. I blushed, clutching the phone to my heart, daydreaming about our date and unaware that Jenna was forming a mysterious smile. Right. One thing that I never told Leon was that Jenna and I look completely the same. Leon and I had been chatting online for a long time. When I wasn't home, Jenna received a Christmas gift that Leon sent me and a postcard with very endearing words. Another Christmas, and you're still my favorite. She mischievously asked me a lot about him and kept praising Leon as her idol. That summer, he once again surprised me with news that he'd be returning home for a month. I really look forward to the day I can finally meet you, Anne. I just know our date will be amazing. Excitedly, I told Jenna, and she immediately helped me to prepare the most dazzling look and enthusiastically applied a beauty mask for me every night. But unfortunately, while I was wearing a mask and watching a movie one time, I fell asleep. By the next morning, the mask on my face was terribly dry. The real nightmare came when I removed it and saw some red pimples appeared all over my face. I shouted in horror, "Jenna, save me! Leon will return home tomorrow. I can't meet him in this state." She sighed. "It's just a few pimples, sis. It's fine." "No! I must meet him in my best form, but I don't want to cancel or reschedule our date." After thinking for a while, we finally came up with a solution. Jenna would go to my dates in my place until the pimples go away. Whew! I followed Jenna to the date and sat at a nearby table to listen to them. Luckily, everything went well. Leon didn't seem to notice anything suspicious. Haha, my sister was quite an actress. Way to go, sis. Suddenly, Leon took her hand. "Anne, I've waited for this day for forever. Would you like us to be an official couple?" My heart suddenly tightened. I should have been the one hearing those words. Surprisingly, Jenna hugged Leon tightly and kissed his cheek. "Of course, my love." Okay, that was a bit too real to be an act. I just wanted to rush over and to stop them right then, but all I could do was sit quietly. Jenna passionately took Leon's hand. "I want to go somewhere more romantic, okay?" "Sure. Everything for my lady." They both got in the car and left. I hurriedly followed them, but unfortunately, there was no taxi around. Their car slowly faded away, and I depressedly walked home alone. When Jenna came back from the date, I was ready to beat her up. But I was shocked when she started sobbing. "Sis, Leon is a jerk. He was trying to have his way with me. Luckily, I escaped." Seeing Jenna in such a state broke my heart. I held her in my arms and felt guilty for dragging her into this mess. After that day, Leon stopped texting me. He had blocked me as well, so no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't contact that bastard. However, I noticed that Jenna was leaving the house quite late one evening. And what? I also saw Leon standing in front of our house. They met and kissed in the dark. Why would Jenna continue to date that jerk? Something is fishy. Another night during a phone call between Jenna and Leon, I learned that they were going to meet at the mall. While Jenna was putting on makeup, I said, "Can I borrow your phone for a bit? Mine is broken, and I need to do a quick group call with my friends." She lent me the phone, and I quickly texted Leon to cancel their date. Jenna was still unaware of my action and blissfully went to the mall. I secretly followed Jenna to watch the embarrassing scene of her being stood up. Then I would surprisingly jump out to laugh at her face. But no! It was me and my sister who were surprised. We saw Leon kissing another girl. Jenna rushed to him. "Leon, you betrayed me? What the hell is this? Who is she?" Leon looked alarmed. "Jenna, why are you here?" You told me to cancel our date. My sister burst into tears at that moment. I came out to hug her and said firmly to Leon, I was the one who texted you, and I'm the real Anne. This is all a stupid mess, but thanks to it, I learned your real face. You disgusting cheater! Jenna angrily gave Leon a slap and turned away, leaving him dazzled. The two of us left together. After a moment of silence, she confessed everything. I'm so sorry, sis. I had a crush on Leon. I wanted him so bad. I lied that you had changed numbers, so he texted me instead. Oh gosh, Jenna. What about him attacking you? Did you make that up too? Yes. I sighed and hugged my foolish twin. All right. At least thanks to that, we get to see his true face. We're safe now. That's what matters. After that incident, Jenna and I no longer contacted Leon. Instead, Jenna and I took more time to understand each other. After that, whenever a guy wants to approach me, Jenna always quietly protects me from afar as a way to atone for her past mistakes.
Hurry up! There is no place for losers in our family. Who arrives last will have to walk home on her own. Mom yelled and blew her whistle repeatedly, urging us to finish our lap. Even though I couldn't breathe and my legs were constantly shaking from fatigue, after hearing what she said, my sister Emily and I still kept running. In the end, Emily won. After crossing the finish line, we both fell to the ground, barely able to breathe. Sorry, July. Seems like you'll have to walk home today, Emily told me wearily as I sighed in frustration. Soon after, Mom left me alone at the stadium and drove away with my sister. Hi, I'm July. My mom was a professional track and field athlete. After retiring, she became our personal coach. It was horrible because she was strict as hell. There was no failure in her dictionary. Ever since I was little, Mom always made me and my sister compete with one another. The winner would take it all, and the loser would receive punishment. To get what we wanted, Emily and I always had to compete with each other, even if it was for toys, bedrooms, or clothes. Most of the time, we competed by running. Only competition makes you stronger, was what Mom always told us. Gradually, Emily and I considered each other as rivals on both the field and in daily life. As the state track and field competition was coming up, my sister and I were the leading contenders for the 5-kilometer gold medal. In order to raise our fighting spirit, Mom set one condition. Listen carefully. If Emily loses, you won't get to see your boyfriend again. If July loses, you'll have to drop out of your art class. Not stopping there, Mom said whoever lost wouldn't get to see Dad. That's terrible. Since their divorce, Dad only came home on his birthday, and that was the only time we could see him. Although my sister and I strongly objected to that, Mom didn't waver. In the end, we gave in and once again became rivals. From that day on, Emily and I practiced days and nights. Neither of us wanted to lose. On the day of the competition, when I entered the dressing room, I saw Emily doing something very suspicious. What are you doing? Nothing. I'm just rearranging my stuff. After a few minutes of warm-up, we got to the starting line. When the gunshot rang out, all the athletes rushed forward. However, while running, I started noticing something wrong with my shoes. Something inside was hurting my feet. I tried to run a few hundred meters more, but it was too much to bear. Having no other choice, I stopped in the middle of the field to the surprise of everyone. As I took off my shoes, small pebbles started coming out. I panicked as I recalled my sister's shady actions that morning. Unbelievable! She must have resorted to that dirty method to win. I furiously threw my shoes aside and ran after my opponents. Anger and competitive spirit greatly fueled my strength. After each lap, I gradually closed the distance and caught up with the athletes. In the last 500 meters, only Emily and I were leading. Remembering how my sister pulled a dirty trick on me, it made me want to win even more. In the last 50 meters, when I sped past Emily and was so close to the victory in front of me, all of a sudden, a thudding sound resounded from behind me. Emily had tripped. She was sprawled on the ground with a large wound on her shin. Despite her best efforts, Emily couldn't stand up anymore. I looked at the finish line, which was just a few feet away from me, then looked back at my injured sister. I took a deep breath, sighed, then decided to go back and help my sister up. Are you crazy? Just run to the finish line! Emily, you're a pain in my butt, but you're more important than that damn gold medal. And just like that, I abandoned the race and helped my sister up as Emily burst into tears. After the race, needless to say, Mom was enraged. You idiot! You lost on purpose! I firmly said, Mom, we're family, and we're tired of you forcing us to fight each other. Emily also agreed. If you don't stop your unreasonable punishments, we'll have to find ourselves a new coach. Facing our fierceness for the first time, Mom had to back down. Now, Emily's life and mine are easier. We love each other and won't allow Mom to make us fight ever again.